Wisconsin became part of the Union on May 29, 1848. America's Dairyland, home of the Green Bay Packers, the original site of the Playboy Mansion, Culver's, and enough beer, brats, and cheese to fill all the major food groups. Birthplace of Willem Dafoe, Heather Graham, Liberace, Bob Uecker, Tony Shalhoub, Red Foreman, Ed Gein, Jeffrey Dahmer. Some of the strangest alien abduction cases have occurred here. It is said that Slenderman himself resides in the darkest part of the North Woods. It's had its own version of the Salem witch trials. For these reasons and many others, America's Dairyland is also America's Scaryland!
That's correct. It is America's Scaryland. Season 2, Probing 2. Hey, Jake.
Hey, I feel like someone asked a question. I wasn't ready for it.
No, I was introducing the only podcast you should be listening to these days.
Keep saying it, and it'll be true.
Yep, putting it out in the universe, and it better come back true.
That's the secret.
The secret to our success. Once again, the only podcast coming to you with the confidence of 6 seasons under their belt.
Holy shit.
Oh, feels good. Feels great.
Yeah. Man, it took us a long time to get to 6.
It really did. Took almost, I don't know, took a while.
It took about 6 months.
Yeah, we're here. We're live now, but not when you hear this, so that was a dumb thing to say.
We're not alive now. Because it's cold out. That's the thing. We're in the Wisconsin.
We're in the throes of our hibernation season. If this is the first episode you are listening to of America's Scaryland,
go back and listen
to the other ones. Go back to Season 1. Season 1, that format's coming back.
Someday.
Next season when it warms up again.
Yay.
We like to stay warm in the winter, and that's how we're doing Season 2.
Yeah, because it's
bringing all cold. Of you the probings from inside the warmth of our homes.
Where it's not 1,000 below degrees.
No.
And snow.
So, without further ado, jumping right into the brand new segment.
Real shit
or bullshit?
You decide. Well,
this probing's video that we're going to dig into is, well, you'll have seen it on the socials. And if you're listening right now and you want to check it out, literally type in ghost screaming in haunted hotel full length. That is the video we are going to be checking out right now and trying to figure out if it's real shit or bullshit.
Yeah, and it's pretty spooky too.
This one legit gives me goosebumps, and I don't know. Let's do it. So it's real easy to claim stuff's real when you put words to it.
Yep. This is.
It's not been edited.
It has not.
It's not.
Even though I'm pretty sure it has been. So basically, this is hotel security footage.
They're watching it.
Yeah.
They can see that it's hotel security footage.
Have you ever seen director's commentary?
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this shot, I felt like this angle was great because you could see 2 hallways at once.
Yes. So the guy's going to the door.
The man has a name. It's John.
I guess that is the worst director's commentary when they just tell you what's happening in the movie.
So, yeah, they're screaming, like, in the room. And to me, it sounds like a kid screaming or like not like a full-grown male adult.
Well, it doesn't sound male, that's for sure. Definitely, to me, it sounds like either a child or a woman.
Yeah. And you had mentioned earlier, you're like, yeah, the security guard's got balls of steel. Because he gets told by his manager, wait. Like, just wait.
He hears the screaming. Like,
and
it sounds
he's like, man, I got my flashlight. I'm going in. John, wait for the police, John.
Nah, fuck
John,
it. I'm already in
John
the door.
Says, boom. Now, in that, right where that subtitle was, is like, John, wait for the police. There's a quick edit right there.
Yeah.
Yep, and now you see the
as he goes in,
transparent figure comes out. Truthfully, the I'm getting goosebumps again looking and watching this, and John comes out pretty quick.
Yeah,
and then he's telling his manager that the shower's on, the floor's ripped up, the furniture's been turned upside down. Yeah.
See, the thing is, to me, it's like he hears the screaming. I don't remember, but I assume he probably heard noises other than screaming. Like, it sounded like there was people in there or someone.
Well,
And just the fact that he opens that door and they're like, we're calling the police. And John goes, I'm already in the door. Like, he's already going in.
so here's my thing about kind of the editing of this. One, there's that jump cut from when he goes into the room,
Right.
right? Like right when he decides to go into the room, it's pretty
Yep, right
there's
there.
a jump cut right there. It's at about a minute 17.
Yeah.
You'll see it. So the other thing that bothers me and makes me lean towards bullshit is we're hearing the manager talk.
Uh-huh.
We're hearing the screams, but we're not hearing John talk to his manager.
Right.
That's part of it that is like a little fucky for me is we can hear the screams.
Yeah.
We can hear the manager, and then I'm assuming, I don't know who this Amy woman is, if she's another manager or what, but you know, like we should be able to be hearing John say, well, I mean, the carpet's all ripped up in
Yeah.
correspondence with his manager.
Right.
And we don't, but yet we hear the screams. I mean, that's also, he said the shower's on. So if we hear the screams, I mean, also we should be able to hear the furniture being flipped up. I think there is banging. I know we're rewatching it without the sound right now.
Right.
And then the transparent figure, again, with editing, that's easy to do.
Right.
I mean, there are filters that make footage grainy. You know, you can throw the
like infrared green light.
yeah, you
night
can
vision.
throw that on anything. So I am going again. I'm calling bullshit.
Okay.
That's like I said before, it's gonna take a pretty substantial video for me to really say it's real shit.
Yeah. Well, this one to me is all the things you said, easily faked, edited. But to me, it could be real. Haunted hotels and the idea of a hotel being haunted to me is very like it makes sense. It's likely. There, you know, we don't know what hotel it is, what the history of that hotel is. So you never know. I mean, to me, you know, it could be that's the room where someone died. And the fact that we don't necessarily hear banging, to me, lends itself towards paranormal. In that, like,
I can.
you don't hear anything.
It's
move.
creepy as all get out.
Yeah.
Even with me believing that it is fake and leaning that way, I still can't watch this without getting goosebumps. It's still creepy.
Yeah.
So onward and upward to.
Well,
the
hold on.
top-
I didn't
oh.
give my opinion.
Oh.
I think it's bullshit. I think it's bullshit.
Oh.
Well, you're just gonna not give my opinion. You gave your opinion.
Oh.
Okay.
Never mind. You'll get it in editing again.
Okay. Moving on.
Onwards and upwards. Sorry, I stepped on your opinion there.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't either.
We're derailing quickly.
No, we're not. I will not allow this to happen. Today's, this afternoon, this morning's probing. You got your Batmans.
Yep.
You got your Spidermans.
Yep.
You got your Ant-Mans.
Yep.
You got your Rocketmans.
Yeah.
We have our Slendermans.
Yeah.
That's right. The topic of today's probing is Slenderman himself.
The internet creepypasta king. That skinny dude in a suit. That faceless wonder, Slenderman.
You also just about described Beetlejuice. Slightly.
He's got a face, though.
Yeah, he does.
He looks like Michael Keaton.
He does. Do you want to dig into the history of Slenderman? Do you want me to?
I can jump into it real quick. So basically, Slenderman started originally in 2009. There's a website called Something Awful. And a user on there named Eric...
Knudsen or Knudsen?
I would assume that's a silent K. I was going to say Knudsen.
Yeah.
Could be a loud K. But he posted basically in what was essentially a Photoshop competition for like spooky paranormal pictures, and he photoshopped in this black and white old picture of kids playing, and in the background there's a very tall, skinny man with tentacles hanging around, and just kind of burst into the world this fiction of Slenderman.
It took off. People really enjoyed it. People.
And the thing that I think kind of threw it here, and this is two of my favorite parts, is there's he made two pictures originally, and they both had quotes, and the quotes I think really sell it, which is the first one that was under like the original picture says, "We didn't want to go, we didn't want to kill them, but its persistent silence and outstretched arms horrified and comforted us at the same time." And then it's marked 1983, photographer unknown, presumed dead. Which to me just adds to like, what the fuck is this? And then under the second picture, there was a quote that said, "One of two recovered photographs from the Sterling City Library blaze, notable for being taken the day which 14 children vanished and for what is referred to as the Slenderman. Deformities cited as film defects by officials. Fire at library occurred 1 week later. Actual photo confiscated as evidence." So basically, it's adding to the lore that these were pictures that were taken shortly before 14 kids went missing, and then the library that the pictures were in, the library burned down, and so that the pictures that you were seeing in this photo contest were like copies, and the originals were gone and sort of thing. So it's these cool things that are adding to the lore.
Yeah, to the mythos of it.
Of Slenderman. Before it even starts to take off, you only have two pictures, two quotes, and they're already being compared to, H.P. Lovecraft and stuff like that, of like this mythical, old god kind of thing.
Again, we touched on this with the Hodag. I think it's a perfect storm of, you have this figure, you have now Knudsen he didn't flat out come out and say, hey, it's a hoax. But the downright history explains that he entered this into a Photoshop contest.
Yeah,
and
the idea was that
whole lore of it took off. There's movies, he's supposed to supposedly have like a family. There's just so much.
Yeah.
There's so much about it. It's just over encumbering to.
Well, and it suddenly like takes off into. They put him in like Minecraft as the Enderman. Slenderman himself has two games: Slenderman the 8 Pages and Slenderman the Arrival, which is like first person. You're running through the woods, avoiding Slenderman, trying to collect notes and stuff. I've never actually played it, but I've seen videos of it, which is, it looks pretty creepy, and then, like, you get cornered and Slenderman gets you. And then there was a film about it, so it's pretty neat. It's just crazy that it started off as a Photoshop contest, and it's one of those stories that the internet took and claimed as its own.
It's really ironic and hilarious to me that the Slenderman symbol looks just like the Xbox symbol.
Yeah, it does.
It's a circle with an X through it. That is the supposed Slenderman symbol, which means that Slenderman plays Microsoft.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, why are we talking about Slenderman? Because we are a podcast based in Wisconsin, focused on Wisconsin. Well,
there's a whole bunch of. Do you want to talk about that, or do you want to explore Slenderman first, and then lead into the connection to Wisconsin?
Let's dig into him a little bit further. I will take over the connection because I know it's a little tougher for you to go through it. So, a little more factoids about the Slender Man.
Right. So he is. The whole idea is that we don't really know anything about Slenderman. What he is, what he wants. He appears to want children. Is the main thing. He's known for taking children.
Is it possible that Slenderman is Old Man Weary?
Doubtful,
Okay.
but possible. I'm not saying it's possible, but it probably didn't
I'm
happen.
not saying it's aliens, but
It's
it's aliens.
not aliens. Might be aliens. Ooh, Slenderman is an alien?
Bigfoot's a government spy?
Fuck. Not wearing a suit. So yeah, I mean, Slenderman's. He's a cool character. Like, he's tall, faceless, wears a suit, so he's dashing, and he's got the tentacles, which is pretty neat. I don't know. I mean, do you have any history with is this like the first time you've really like explored Slenderman at all?
Doing research for this probing, yes. This was, I've heard about him. I'm just kind of dismissed it all, and but yeah, this was the first kind of jump into Slenderman I've taken, and it's I just don't get internet fads, to be completely honest. They are silly to me.
Okay.
This falls into that category of being silly. I get the appeal, and I get that there are people out there that love this sort of thing. I co-host a podcast with one of those people.
Yeah.
It doesn't as I have started to say, because I find it way more clever than floating my boat. It ticks the days off in my calendar.
Fair enough. Trying to find the original.
Well, it was on the Wikipedia page. I don't know what when we get around to the connection that brings Slenderman home here to Wisconsin, that's what intrigues me more in this probing than anything.
Fair enough.
Because are there any other like factoids that I've seen the original picture. If you're just trying to find it to show me, I've seen it. Our listeners can't really see what you're looking at.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, it's just crazy how quickly it blew up, because the Genesis is in 2009.
Yeah.
And we are 11 years past that now, and it's still a predominant figure in paranormal and
pop culture.
And it's been integrated. He's been integrated into pop culture. And the connection to Wisconsin are the stabbings that took place involving 3 young girls.
Yeah. And what is that?
Waukesha.
Waukesha. Yeah. Right.
So we won't reveal names or anything like that, but
they're out there.
They are out there. When you look into this, you can read the names for yourself. But on May 30th, 2014, 3 girls were having a sleepover or something. Yep. They were hanging out playing, and 2 of the girls lured their friend out to the woods under the guise of playing hide and seek.
Yep.
And the 2 girls, they pinned down their friend and stabbed her 19 times in the arm, legs, and torso with a kitchen knife that was 5 inches long.
Yep.
And 2 of the wounds hit major organs. 1 missed the major artery by her heart, and it actually missed it by a millimeter. And it's fucked up that's what brings it back around to Wisconsin, and it's hard to like make light and joke about any of this because it's such a fucked up situation.
Right.
And I know it's hard. It's hard for you to. You told me there is. So the girl that was stabbed survived.
Yep. She was 12.
And she'd be almost 18, 19 now.
Yeah, because it was about 6 years
And you
ago.
said a couple months ago she came out.
She did like a 2020 or some time
interview, and I haven't looked for it or watched it either.
I watched a little bit of it, and she basically goes into what she remembers from it, and like the thing that ties it is the fact that she was found. She crawled out of the wooded area that they left her in, and she was found. And then her two friends were quickly picked up for this.
Yeah.
They had been walking around town, like covered in blood.
Yep.
And when they were questioned by police, the thing that ties all this together is one of them said that they did it because they wanted to impress Slenderman.
Yeah.
And basically, she had convinced herself and then her friend that if they didn't kill someone, didn't kill this friend of theirs, that Slenderman would come and kill their family.
Yeah, I think it's, it's a cautionary tale to me of how dangerous that we as adults, and most everyone listening out there are adults, and we forget how easily swayed a child's mind can be by things like this. It's very it's sobering right now, because I know, you have the girls, and like you said, it's hard for you to watch anything involving like this sort of situation.
Yeah.
It's really it's just a little sobering.
Well, it's to me, and like I talked about it in the Hodag episode, but I didn't remember the phrase, but mass hysteria is what I was looking for. The idea of like something causing so many people to like just believe in something or believe an idea.
And the thing is most of the people involved in like perpetrating the Slenderman mythos know obviously that he's fake and that he's made up, and they're adding their addition to the lore.
Right. Well, what I was going to say was, like, when I said with the Hodag, was looking into actual sightings of people being like, no, it's real, it's totally real. Even though it was widely known and accepted and has been, it's fake.
It was hoax, yeah.
This is sort of in the same vein of, this started out as nothing more than a fake picture contest. It's a Photoshop contest. It's never once started out as real. This is not old.
Right.
It is, and the simple idea, the simple fact that yes, I'm like, it's no doubt that there are lots of people out there who write the stories, make the games, make the movies, all of that, in the idea of like, oh, it's a cool fake story, we're just gonna keep it going. But this story in particular, and like there's many stories I'm sure out there of people who, this is something that became real, and it is a example of like the mass hysteria that these things can cause, where people can't dictate between it being real and being fake, and to them it is real. And it's kind of one of those things that, like, because that's one of the things when you do paranormal research that a lot of people jump to is like, these things aren't real, they're just figments of mass hysteria of people wanting them to be real, therefore they are, kind of things. And it's just very interesting that something like this could happen with something that was clearly set from the beginning as fake.
I'll circle back around to the stabbing stuff in a second. I just had this thought that a lot of stuff that we've probed into is deeply rooted in like the culture based around Wisconsin, like the Native American culture, all of that, and a lot of it is old lore, old ghosts, old hauntings, that sort of thing.
Yep.
It's ironic to me, and it's unique that this is Slenderman is in pop culture. He has a place there now, good or bad, whatever. But it's one of the newest kind of legends and urban legends that I'm aware of at this juncture in time. I mean, the genesis can be dated to the exact date of 2009 that this was created.
Yep.
And it's just something that was very interesting to me. It's just an interesting fact that I wanted to bring up. The two girls that committed the crime were sentenced in 2017.
Yep.
For second-degree homicide. They were found guilty by a jury. I'm sorry. They were found not guilty by mental disease or defect. It was actually one of the crime committers. I'm sorry.
Crime committers.
I just like alliteration. She was found not guilty by mental disease or defect. The other one was sentenced to a 25 years to life sentence involving at least 3 years locked confinement and involuntary treatment in a state penitentiary or a state psychiatric institute. Yeah, it just... I don't know. This is not our normal probing of having a good jolly laugh. It just...
That's why I wanted to wait to get to the stabbing for a while.
Well, we can circle back around to the fun here in a little bit.
It's hard to talk about child stabbing and then have funny but...
Well, we can at least try. We can be pioneers.
Pioneers in the child stabbing.
See, you're already chuckling.
Yeah, I mean, even the guy that created it, Eric Knudsen, I hope we're saying his name right. We're going to feel right.
I'm sticking by Knudsen.
I feel like that is not how you say names. But
you're also from Iowa and don't know how to pronounce names. Because I've met people with 2 consonant for last names. Anyway,
Eric here. He did a interview in the Minneapolis Star Tribune. And he is quoted as saying that, like, despite understanding that the Slenderman was created on something awful forums, people still entertain the possibility that he might be real. And I think it's kind of interesting to see that something like this could take off to the point where it is now a legend. It's not just a story. It's not just... I mean, because, like, think about it. Like, you have, like, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, in the same vein of, like, these are entertainment-created characters. But nobody ever goes out and like, oh, watch out, Michael Myers will get you.
Right.
Like, we know they're fake. And this is in the same vein of, like, we know it's fake. We know why it was created. We know when it was created. We know who created it. And yet there are still people out there who, whether for fun or because of something like the girls in Wisconsin here that have some sort of mental illness that's convinced them that, like, no, this thing's real. It exists. It's after me. It's after people I know, kind of thing.
Like I had been saying earlier, I can't really get off this idea that it just, even though with the mediums and the platforms and everything that we have and just the connection to the internet that we have as a culture, it gives you pause with these scenarios and these situations. It makes you realize, holy fuck, there are things on the internet that can still just root themselves inside, I mean, in this instance, kids, but people. I mean, here's the thing, like, this is, okay, it's slightly different, but this is not all that dissimilar from terrorist organizations recruiting on the internet or cult leaders recruiting on the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, those things are still spread via the internet. Again, it's a little bit different, but it just,
Well, I mean, it takes advantage of that thing in people of the need to belong. And it's true for a lot of paranormal, and it to different levels of extreme and obvious danger. And, like, I think there's a lot to be said about certain, like, cryptid creatures or ghosts. I'm not trying to say real or fake. I think ghosts are real, but I think a lot of it too, like a lot of people that have had experiences, some of them can be narrowed down to the simple fact that they just want to be part of that group. They just want to say they did.
Yeah.
And now I'm not saying that they're lying either. I'm sure there's lots of people out there who truly, honestly could pass a lie detector test, believe to their heart truth it happened. But it's because they want it to have happened so bad that to them it did.
Well, and like you said, it gets inside of that part of all of us that we admittingly or unadmittingly have, which is that drive and that want to be part of a group.
Yeah.
And in this case, is a terrible situation that happened to this young girl.
Which I also don't think that these two qualify as. It's not that they wanted to belong.
No, but they fell prey to, I guess what I was getting at is just the darker side of the internet where, I mean, how many of you listeners out there right now who have kids of any age are actually monitoring what they're doing on the internet and what they're reading and what they're looking at? This is a case of, even if these two girls' parents were monitoring them, I'm sure they thought, oh, Slenderman? Yeah, just some harmful whatever made up.
Harmless.
No, yes. All of the agreeances. I don't know. I just, that's.
Because, I mean, there was other things, too, that have happened resulting, or, like, in connection with this. Like, there's a woman in Cincinnati, Ohio, who said that her 13-year-old daughter attacked her with a knife and had written macabre fiction, some involving Slenderman. There was a case in 2014 of a 14-year-old girl in Florida who allegedly set her family's house on fire while her mother and brother were inside. And she had been reading stories about Slenderman. And so it's something that, like, to me is almost a case of, this is kind of like the whole video game argument
Video game violence.
Yeah, of like, it's harmless until you just let a child in an isolated situation absorb it. That's when it becomes harmful.
Yeah.
But
well, kids are dumb.
Yeah.
That's I just need to say that. They're dumb, and that's why they need parents to kind of guide them and not do dumb things. At the same time, a lot of dumb parents out there too.
Yeah.
Just straight up a lot of dumb people from every gamut of every age out there. I'm not saying I'm even immune to that. I'm probably kind of dumb, but smart enough to get a podcast going. So,
but to keep it going.
Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah, I keep circling around to this just dangers of the internet thing, and I know it's not very entertaining, but it's just kind of...
I felt like this episode was going to be more fun until we got to the bad part, and then we just jumped to the bad part.
You know, this happened last season during the Christmas episode, too. We're all fun, rah-rah, holiday spirit.
Don't bring him back, please.
Fucking Black Pete showed up, just killed our mood, made us feel real bad, and just dampened all of our spirits. And I feel like Slenderman is Slenderman might be in cahoots with him a little bit, in the sense of just a mood dampener, just bringing us down.
See, it sucks too, because like I like Slenderman as a story. I like this idea of like this otherworldly being. The tentacle thing to me seems unnecessary, but it, like, as a fan of, like, I like H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of gives them that tie to the Cthulhu, the Cthulhu and
Cthulhu.
Yeah. I guess it's a K. So it's a hard K.
I mean, technically, it's supposed to be like it's fucking weird tentacle shit. But no, I mean, I think it's a cool story, and unfortunately, you get situations like this that the only reason we're talking about it is because a girl got stabbed in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, it is a cool image because he's supposed to be like tall too. That's the thing, is he's like 9 feet tall or some shit, and he's
like loomingly tall.
Yes, and it kind of reminds me of not Will Smith Men in Black, but like the Alien Real Connection Men in Black of these
like the Mothman appearances of Men in Black,
like these weird shaped people in suits that, you know, and to me it's kind of like, well, okay, maybe he's like a creature, but what if maybe he's an alien?
Maybe he's a government agent in a suit.
No, that's Bigfoot. They wouldn't do it twice.
Yeah, and just it's also a testament to urban legends as a whole, because now I can't say this is 100% true for every urban legend, but most urban legends have the element of a creature or a cryptid or something. You know, you got your Slenderman. Then you have a real world application. You have something that happened involving this in the real world.
Right.
And then you have the result. And so I think, you know, I don't know, I'm losing myself here right now, but
well, I mean, you get something like Bloody Mary.
That's actually what was in my head, was Bloody Mary. You're supposed to say Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror and it shows up and blah,
Yeah, and I mean,
But
the chupacabra is another thing. Where was I going? Oh, and to me, this is another example of one of those urban legends that, even though proven to be untrue, it still gets into our zeitgeist and our mental understanding of the world and everything, to the point where people believe it's true.
Mm-hmm.
And I would compare it to like the idea of like poison candy and razor blades on Halloween.
I think that's a really good example.
As something that like is constantly every year.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why we don't trick or treat anymore. That's you gotta
Right.
check your kid's candy, even
Right.
though the few situations
Where it really happened.
it was never, like, I think one lady got caught doing it, but she was going to do it to teenagers because she thought they were too old, but she didn't actually end up handing the candy out. The only actual case of reported poison Halloween candy was that dad who poisoned his own kid.
Yeah.
And otherwise it's like isolated incidents of like some of it is just pranks and stuff, but it was never a widespread thing of like tons of kids got razor blades in their like it's not true. Yeah, ask anybody and it's oh no, it totally happened.
Yeah.
I know this kid that it happened to, or I heard about this kid in my hometown that it happened to, and it's like it didn't. And that's the kind of the weird thing with urban legends.
Well, and this urban legend is also, again, a unique one in the sense that many urban legends had their staying power because of essentially word of mouth.
Right.
They, my cousin's friend's cousin heard about this guy who got haunted.
I knew a guy that knew a guy.
And that's how it went for many, 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 many years.
To quote it, I heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend. You were messing around.
Who said that this seems crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe.
Those somewhere my dad just got hurt a little bit.
This urban legend started on the internet.
Yep.
Had the power of the internet behind it.
Correct.
Had the reach of the internet behind it.
Yeah.
It's no surprise that it became an urban legend very quickly. But looking back, again, this is only an 11-year-old urban legend.
Yeah.
That
has a very defined start point.
Right. And that's just crazy because there's not a lot of them out there that can be traced back to a specific origin. And so the simple fact that it's so young, but it's so quickly accepted everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a little baffling. Yeah.
Well, let's we're gonna diverge just a tad.
Okay.
On this, just because I'm kind of curious. Like, one of my favorite things to do when I was younger was to sort of read urban legends and to hear the stories. I remember specifically like my first. It wasn't at a campfire, but let's say the first like campfire scenario of hearing an urban legend was at one of my birthday parties. My dad told me the story of the Hook. You know the Hook story?
Yeah, I'm sure I've heard versions
of couple making out. Here's weird noise. Gotta leave. No, and then weird noise. And then the guy goes to let the girl out of the car, and there's the hook dangling.
Yeah, your dad saw that in the movie Scream and then made you believe it.
This was before Scream.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean it's a common urban legend.
So, New Line Cinema owes your dad money?
No, it's
because
this is an old urban legend. This has been around for years. But that was like the first, and ever since then, it's like a fun.
Yeah, it's like
But to me, like that was like, did you follow urban legends? Was there any sort of stories like that for you?
I was a pussy as a kid. I still am. No, I always just, the whole cryptid and alien things, that was really what got me. I've looked, when I was younger, I looked at urban legends and that sort of stuff, but there's nothing that I really like.
Like, do you ever check your back seat when you get in your car?
No.
Because I do, and I know that subconsciously I do it, even if I don't mean to, and it's purely because of hearing the urban legend of the killer in the back seat.
No. I'm trying to think of any sort of just like urban legend or any sort of thing like that I would subscribe.
Have you ever done Bloody Mary?
No specific instance comes to mind.
Would you be willing to do it right now?
Yeah, I got to pee, so I'll go do it.
Like, can we record it?
I don't care. How are we going to pull this off?
Oh, don't unplug that one.
What's your plan here, fella?
Well, I'm going to unplug the power.
Oh, God. The whole podcast is going to go to shit.
Pardon the noise here. We'll just not talk and I can edit this out. We are hands-free now at this point, and I am very scared of what this will entail, but we're going to test it out. Hopefully it doesn't sound like... Can you hear Nick peeing? I hope you can hear Nick peeing. So, while Nick is peeing, I'm detaching everything, play by play. I've never podcasted on the go before.
Fuck it up? Are we fucked in the pooper?
No, I've never podcasted on the go before.
Podcast on the go. What a brand new, brilliant concept.
I'm scared and excited to hear what this sounds like. I apologize if it is the absolute... Yes. I apologize if this sounds like absolute garbage. Nick's washing his hands for cleanliness. Huh.
All right, which commode are we doing this in?
We'll just do it in this one right here.
All right.
Can we both be in there, or do you have to be alone?
You're the one that knows the urban legend, not me.
I think you have to be alone. Oh, this is going to echo like balls. So
should we go do the other one where it's a little quieter?
They're both echoey as shit. Okay. It's the tall ceilings.
So am I just doing it, or are we each doing it?
How about we each do it? We'll
Okay.
each do it alone. I'm going to tilt this down. Don't close it.
Let me go get the iPad. I don't know how much of this we're editing out and not editing out.
Right.
But should we look up specifically what we're supposed to do
You're supposed to say it 3 times in the mirror.
with the lights on or off?
Off.
And then you turn the lights on after the third one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know if maybe... Okay, now we're in the bathroom. Hopefully I have edited this so you don't hear all the bullshit that it took to get us in here. What we're going to do is we're each going to try... This podcast took a fucking wicked awesome turn.
Yeah.
So, we're going to have... Both Nick and I are going to try the old Bloody Mary legend. Nick's going to stand in my bathtub?
No, I'm going to step out.
Oh.
I'm just trying to figure out the best
Oh,
spot.
he's wiring up some whole... That's going to fall.
It is. Here, because I kind of want to get a shot of here if I can.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, this took a major turn. Holy shit.
this is why we need a tripod.
This is why we should plan ahead better.
Well, you know.
We could have set up in
the
here.
moment then, too.
We could have set up in here.
That would have been so dumb. So dumb.
You're so dumb.
Do a whole podcast on the bathroom.
Why are we in the bathroom? For one reason. I have nothing that will work as a tripod. Okay, because it says that she'll show up to individuals or groups, and that sometimes the name needs to be chanted 3 times or 13 times. I'll do 3.
You do 3, you do 13. I do 3, I do 13. Then we do 3 and 13 together.
Sure.
6 different videos, 6 different versions.
I mean, we don't... yeah, sure, whatever.
Alright, I'll edit that all in.
This just became an editing nightmare.
Yeah, it did. I think it'll be a lot easier than you think.
Hopefully.
Um,
Okay, so I'm gonna just to try and dim it as much because it says dim light or candlelight. So I figured a little dim computer light is modern day
what
candles.
if you put that? Okay.
Because that way it's still recording and everything. So
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go soundproof it up.
I hope something cool happens. So I am now alone. The lights are off. I am now raising. Here we go. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Nothing. Let's try it one more time. Bloody Mary. 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 No Mary. Okay. Yeah.
What's she supposed to do? Kill you or just show up?
Differing stories.
All right.
Possible death, possible just scares.
Okay. So you did 3, and then you did 13.
Yep.
Okay.
So
3, then the lights on,
that's what I did.
and then lights off.
Don't die.
I won't, hopefully. Okay. Now I'm up. So we're trying this whole Bloody Mary thing. I just realized I don't have 3 hands, so this will be interesting to try. So I can fully admit that I am pretty fucking creeped out. So we'll try this. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. Nope. Just me. That was 3. Now we'll try 13. Bloody Mary, 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 Bloody Mary. Lights on. Nothing. Still alive.
I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
I guess we try it as a group.
Try it as a group of 2. All right. Bloody Mary, take 3, 2 of us.
Go.
Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Hold on. I'm not recording. Bloody Mary, take 3. 2 of us doing it now. Okay. Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary.
Fuck. We're still alive.
Nothing. So now it's time for 13.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure when I did it by myself,
I think I only did 12.
I think I did like 17.
That's
So
countered.
yeah.
I'll count. You say it.
Okay. I was just gonna say tap, but yeah, that works.
Okay.
Maybe I should stop being so like.
Be more open to the idea of being killed by a ghost.
Okay, perfect. Here we go. Bloody Mary, 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 Bloody Mary.
Damn it. I'm so disappointed by our still being alive.
I guess we still gotta do this fucking podcast.
Fuck. Okay. Can we just be brutally murdered by a ghost in the bathroom? Especially if it was together. Wouldn't that be a fun way to be found?
Yeah. Yeah, bathroom hijinks.
Yeah, that was fun.
Like I said, we still have to do this fucking podcast because we didn't get murdered.
Yet.
Well,
Plenty of opportunities to come.
this is true. This is true.
Plus, I feel good. We got active. We didn't get to go
got
anywhere, but we got to get up off the butts
Mm-hmm.
and do some ghost hunting of sorts.
Pour up a pum pum off our bums.
Rachel.
Yeah, so that I'm gonna say about does it for this week's probing.
Yeah, I mean, it started as a Slenderman. We went to a little Bloody Mary. I like it.
Yeah, we took a. I feel like if we were a TV show, this would be the one that wins us the Emmy.
High praise.
Because, we got all the ha-ha episodes of our show. And then we touch on a serious manner. And we flex our versatility nuts a little bit. We show people that,
We can be depressing.
we can.
We can make you
We
sad.
can. So, with all of that being said, check out the socials.
Yeah.
Gmail, America's Scaryland.
At the Gmail.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Let us
all
know
the
if you
fun
have any
stuff.
cool urban legends.
Absolutely.
Stuff that we can try.
Yeah. Yeah. Let us know. Unique stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
not stuff we can just look up on the internet, but we want the stuff that your cousin heard from a guy who knows a guy
Yeah.
who knows a guy. That's
Who is now dead because he tried the
because he tried the thing. That's the stuff we want to hear.
Because I'd be totally down for Urban Legends Part 2.
This is straight up. Well, and again,
Just
too,
trying some
like
stuff,
we
but we'll see how it goes.
if at all possible, try to keep them located in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little hard sometimes bouncing back from deep dark shit when you go there. So
Yeah. I feel like we're in that, the depression that you get during the winter from being cooped up.
seasonal depression,
Yeah.
cabin fever.
I feel like we're hitting that.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Probably. Oh, I'm so sad.
I don't know. So, in case you forgot, America's Dairyland is scarier than you think.
Bye, Nick.
Bye, Jake.